Hi folks, my name is Travis, and today I'll just be going through how to use the SteamVR plugin to just get a scene running in Unity for VR. Okay, so first things first, we just need to get a scene set up in Unity, so we'll just do that now. We'll just call it SteamVR. Okay, and so everything else is just normal, so we'll just do that, create that. Let's give it a minute to load up. Okay, so now we have this, we just need to go to the asset store, and we'll just do a quick search for our SteamVR plugin. Now, the SteamVR plugin is just a plugin that Steam have done up that does most of the job for you. Okay, so you just come to this page, just double check the version and the date. If you have a previous version of the plugin installed, just make sure you come back in and reinstall it. Okay, so we just come down to the import, and we just import everything. Just give it a moment. Yep, so make sure everything's selected, you're good to go, and import. So the end result we're going to have today is just a scene just to muck around and have a look in, okay? Yep, so it's still good, just go accept all, and you made the right choice. Awesome. Okay, so what we need to do now, come back into our scene, just delete the main camera, and then in our assets here, we just come in and find the camera rig prefab, and drag it into the hierarchy. Now, the current version of the SteamVR plugin actually has a bit of a mistake here. So you come into here and just add this, so SteamVR update poses. Okay, and that's just to make sure, and so if we don't have that, what's going to happen is the controllers just won't appear in the scene, they'll deactivate. Okay, so that's all good, so I'm just going to put in a game object here, it's a cube as a platform. I need you to platform, and this is just going to be something so we can just stand on. Don't have to, but we're just going to have this, and we're going to use it for the teleportation later on. Okay, there we go. Doesn't really matter how big it is, but we'll just make this big for now, okay? Okay, so now that scene is set up, we'll just come up to both of the controllers here that are children of the camera rig. You need to add a new component, the tracked controller. This one right here. Okay, so as you can see, that's add to both of them, and that's what we need to do. So this script is what the controllers will use to actually get the input from the individual controllers. So our next job will actually be to access these. So now it's programming. So let's just do up a new folder. Just keep things neat and tidy. And I'll call it, I don't want it there, I want it in assets. There we go. Now in here, let's create a C# script. Let's just call it get input. Okay, let's open it up. Now I'm going to be using Visual Studios. Okay, so first let's just create a connection to the SteamVR script we just attached. So private SteamVR tracked controller, and we'll just call it controller. And then we'll just in start we'll just do that, set up that connection. So controller equals get component SteamVR track controller. There we go. Okay, so now we're actually ready to find the connections, but first let's actually go to the script that we're connecting to, and we'll actually just have a quick look at what they are. Track controller. Okay, so as you can see here, there's two systems that use. It's just a bool to check whether or not the action is happening. We'll be using this first just to get a quick and easy check, and then they actually have events. We'll be using a couple of these events in this tutorial. We won't be going through all of them, just a couple for now. Okay, so this is actually quite simple. I'm just going to create a new void, public void controls. Now this is as simple as just checking the bools. So do controller dot, we'll come back to this. So say trigger press. We'll do trigger pressed. Trigger pressed, and then we just do debug dot log. This log will just make sure we can see what the actual object is, so which one's calling it, and we'll just do that. Okay, so this is the same for all of them. I'm just going to copy and paste a pre-made one. As you can see, each of them are the same. Simple as that. Okay, and so that's it just for the very basic. Next up, we'll just be going through the actual events themselves. So going through these events and how to get hold of them. Okay, so before I forget, we just need to make sure we actually call our basic controls in update. Okay, so now in order to use these events, so we've already got a controller connection here. So, so we're going to use this event. So first we're going to do is the trigger event. So trigger click this one. So to do this, it's actually quite easy. We just need to come into our start and do controller dot trigger clicked plus equals, and so when you do this, actually come up with this auto insert for you. So you hit tab, this up for you, and actually set up the event here. Okay, so yep, so now we've actually got a connection to the event, so we just need to be able to tell it what to do. So what we're going to do with this is instantiate an object. So we'll just create a public game object. And we'll call that, let's call it item. There we go. And so this is the object that we are going to manually put into in the editor. And we're going to be spawning this. So because we're going to be using just the left hand, so the left hand is going to be spawning the object, while the right hand is going to be controlling the teleportation. So we'll just do a full left hand. Okay. So in order to use these events, we need another device. So so we just need to type this in: private SteamVR controller dot device. We're just going to call it device. Okay. So what we need to do next is to be able to call this, we need another new variable. This time it's going to be for the SteamVR tracked object. So Steam tracked object, and we'll just call that object. Okay. And so we just need to make sure we assign this in our start again. So now the SteamVR tracked object is actually one that is automatically attached to the controls when you first start. So we come into here, tracked object. So don't need to worry about attaching that one. Just do get component VR tracked object. Okay. Now we need to come in and update. So these two are being connected. We're using both of them together. So we just need to come into here and do device equals SteamVR controller dot input. So there's a bring that as an int. Tracked object dot index. Okay, so now we'll be able to use this device to be able to check the trigger. Okay, so now we can actually make use of this event. So we're going to check if the trigger is being pressed. Has been pressed, I should say. So if we'll just do a quick check for the left hand first. So that's been ticked off as true. So yep, and device dot was it get hair trigger? Get hair trigger. Yeah, there's a method, so we're calling that. Okay, so now what we want to do with this is instantiate the item as the new vector. So what we're going to do with this is actually spawning an object on the ground directly below where you have your controller. I've just found that it just makes the scene look a lot neater and easier to play around in. So transform dot position, so the x-axis we want you. For the y-axis, because we want it set 0, so I have to double check my scene, but I believe I set it in at 0. 0, not 0. And then the transform position Z, because it's a 3D world. Okay, and don't forget the quaternion rotation as well. Quaternion dot or identity, because we don't want it to spawn according to our rotation. Okay, and that's it. That's how it's that simple to get hold of the trigger and use that to instantiate an object. We'll be testing that at the end of the tutorial. Okay, so next up we are going to be bringing the teleportation, and so we can move around our scene without just walking. So we're using this just because in VR you can only walk so far in the actual world, so most games will be using this. We'll actually just be using the SteamVR plugin. They've provided it with some basic assets for that. So we can come into here. So because we're going to be using the left control for spawning, right control for teleportation, we'll make sure that we come to the right one to add these two. So the first one is going to be the laser pointer, and so that just gives you an idea. So it tells you how thick you want the line to be, if it's active or it's color. And the other one we want is the teleport. Not this one. We want this one. Okay. So what we're going to do is going to change this to collider. So this does mean that we can teleport in a collider. We won't be, and just it limits us to that, so we won't be able to go all over the place. Okay. But while we're in here, we may as well just add our script we've been working on. So we'll just do get input. And I haven't actually saved it, so save that. Keep in mind, folks, that you should actually save your projects more often. I'm a bad example. Make this public. Okay, so we come into this. So on the left controller, we just need to activate that. And while we're here, we'll also just do a cube. Bring it to here and create a new material for it. Call it boxy. And we'll just change that to red. Yeah, we can just do that. Get rid of you. Okay, so come back into here and we'll just drag our cube into here. Okay? We won't need to do it in our right hand control just because it won't actually be activating in that. Okay, so we need to make some more references for these. So for these two new scripts we made, so private SteamVR teleporter. There we go. For that teleport. Make another one, private SteamVR laser pointer. There we go. And call it laser. Okay, so we're just going to do a quick check in the start just to make sure that these components are attached to the object. And if they are, then assign it. You get component SteamVR laser pointer. So if it is, then laser equals get component SteamVR laser pointer. And similar for the other one, so if get component SteamVR teleporter, then teleport equals get component SteamVR teleporter. Okay. Okay, so we're going to create a new bool. Private. Just to check whether or not we are able to teleport now. So let's call it teleport time. Teleport time. And we'll set that equal to false as its start. And we're going to create a new trigger here, so controller dot, so we're going to be checking the pad, and that's how we're going to be activating and deactivating it. That's equal, so again comes up this, hit tab to create our event, and here we're just going to be using this just to change it. So neat little trick is if you want to change a bool from whatever its current state is, you just do that, equals not itself, so teleport time. Handy little trick. Okay, so still in the update, we're now just going to, so rather than deactivating and reactivating our laser pointer, I'm actually just going to change its thickness. So make sure it's there. Oh, that's not the right spot. So if laser is true, also if laser is not equal to null, so if it is there, okay, so if teleport time is true, we want laser dot thickness. So that is the thickness here that we saw earlier on. Now for my own testing, I just found that 0.006 is what I liked, equals 0.06 F. And then else, so if it's not active, then laser thickness equals 0. Okay, so our teleporting script actually has an option here for teleport on click. So we're just going to do up a quick little void here just to control this. So public void, this can call it laser guide. And let's give it a parameter bool and say active. Okay, so all we're going to do in this is do a quick check. So if teleport is not equal to null, then teleport and click is equal to active. So what we're going to do in here is going to come back up to here, back up to update, and put update here. And I've just realized that I've put this in the wrong spot, so let's just bring that out of here and put it into here. Okay, now let's just call the laser guide, and we will send through teleport time as that. Okay. And that's that. That's all we need to do in the programming side for what we're doing today. So next up, all that we need to do is just give it a test, which I should be taking care of next. Okay, so it's going to go through the testing. Play. Bring this up. Okay, so today we've got Holly here just to give us an example while I go through what's happening. So we've got the two controllers here. Holly, do you want to play with some of the buttons so we can see the debug logs? So you can see here, she's pulling the grips, she's touching the pads and the triggers. Okay. Okay, so do you want to use your teleport just to look around, just to walk around? Yep. So as you can see, the camera is updating. The headset itself is controlling it, and she can teleport around. Okay, do you want to spawn some objects? And see, we've got spawning objects. It's all working just as we planned. So as you can see, the program for VR using Steam plugin is quite simple. It's not scary at all. And I look forward to seeing any projects you will work on. And have a good one.